Hello everyone, welcome back to the 11th and the final episode of the RCJC SHOW Season 2. In this initiative, we will be calling our esteemed guests to come and have an interesting talk with us and share their thoughts. I, Rotaract Shetty, the Chairman Avenues and the Joint Secretary of the Rotaract College, will be the host for today's episode. So today we have with us Zainab Patel ma'am, and social entrepreneur, a trans woman and a human rights activist from Mumbai. She runs two social ventures with trans persons and as a Kamal Nayan Bajaj Aspen Fellow. Hello ma'am, I hope you're doing good.
Thank you so much, Joe, for coming over and having me to interview with you and speaking to your lovely audience today.
Yeah, so basically we will be having two rounds in this initiative. The first one being the KYG round, Know Your Guest round, and the second one being the Fun and Frolic round. Yeah, so shall we begin with the first round?
Sure.
So the first question is asked as that how has the Rotary Club of Bombay helped your Saloon providing support to the trans community?
I think the Rotary plays a very catalytic role in bringing together philanthropic efforts while recognizes that communities need to be put in the forefront of intervention. I think I must thank Vineet Bhatnagar, the current president of the Rotary Club of Bombay, for his very pioneering effort in recognizing that communities can have solutions to their own problems. And what are the problems that we're talking about here from the trans or LGBTI? Life of dignity, better socio-economic empowerment, and a place that they can call their own. So when this initiative was being idealized, Vineet and Sandeep Agarwala, who was also the district governor, played a very pivotal role in bringing us all together, connecting us to Deutsche Bank, while making sure we felt included in the picture. It's not that they built this place and gave it to us and said run it, but right from the moment go, building this entire momentum to that so that we feel truly empowered at the end of the process.
That's really, the support of an external organization plays a very pivotal role in supporting a cause which is actually very much important for the society.
True.
Moving on to the second question is that coming out as a transgender to family and friends can brought out with conflict and anxiety at times. So how are you able to come out of it and get into this profession?
As you rightly pointed out, a lot of transgender, non-conforming and overall LGBTI community can find coming out to be very painful, problematic, traumatic and triggering for some. It's because the various family members may not understand you, may not share your perspective towards gender identity expression or sexual orientation. And of course the conflict that we have as a society, as culture and as religious determines what is heteronormative, what isn't, what is normal and what isn't. So I guess when you look at all of these pictures, a lot of people, including me, were alienated from our biological families. And hence we found families of support in our own community called families of choice. And it is this family of choice that helped us realize that it's not only certain people like me who are privileged, who have the background of education, who was able to conceptualize it, but the lesser unfortunate amongst us, with lesser degree of education, with lesser degree of empowerment, with even lesser perhaps economic and social opportunity. That's what made me realize that we have a larger purpose of one is bringing our communities together, but also giving it back to the country. And what we are doing is nothing but an exercise in making India truly great by empowering the most marginalized to become their full potentials of themselves.
Yeah, in this aspect, I would like to share one more thing. As you said, the society is also at the moment very much regressive about it. Earlier, during the historical time, it is said that when I researched about trans in the community earlier, so I found out that the founder of the Krishna's dynasty, Lord Krishna's dynasty, was himself a transgender as well. He was a transgender himself. So at that time, he was so much open towards such things. So why can't now we be open to certain things? So this is one thing that I wanted to share right now. So moving on to the third question, what has been the response of the public to this salon run by the trans community?
Touch wood till date, everyone has been extremely positive, extremely forthcoming, surprised, in awe. And I think if you ask public who were converted as clients, they were absolutely mesmerized. One is with the entire aesthetics of the place. It's large, spread over 1,000 square feet. The kind of diversity that we see in people, and they said, yes, such rich talent is there within the community. And when they look at the service with a touch of humanity, with a lot of emotions attached, they feel proud that they have come and spent money in a place which is a social cause, but at the same time also from an economic sense worth it, and most importantly they go back feeling that they have achieved some purpose.
Right. I mean, it's very much important not only to provide a better kind of service, but at the same time, what the relation that you establish with the clients is also, I think, very much game-changing kind of thing that your salon is doing.
I think for someone like us, customer centricity trumps everything else. You can have the best looking salon, you can have the best technician, but if you don't have customer centricity in whatever be the gender, whatever be the ability, whatever be the orientation of the customer, if you're customer centric, everything else falls back. And our idea about Transformation Salon is just this, that we don't only transform you aesthetically, that we give you beautiful hair, skin, nails, spa, but at the same time we also inwardly transform you. So when you step out of this place, you are truly transformed.
Inwardly as well as outwardly.
Yes.
So the next question is that what would be your wiseful suggestion for a trans person like who is facing challenges due to his identity in the society if he wants to come up with certain opportunities, but if society is just backfiring him or like what would be your suggestion?
I think the first thing that I would like to tell any transgender, non-conforming or a person of the LGBTI community is complete your education. Education goes a very long way in helping you achieve your dreams, helping you achieve your potential and creating something of value. While I do understand as a college dropout myself, it will be difficult, it is easier said than done, but I would urge you to complete education, at least complete your graduation. It opens up much more better jobs, much more better livelihood opportunity or even self-entrepreneurship. If I weren't a grad doing this, I would have probably been just a manager. So I would suggest is complete your education. The second thing is learn to be kind to yourself. The world is unkind to you, but you don't need to be unkind to yourself. You need to find love and acceptance within, and only then the world will learn to appreciate and perhaps understand you for the way. And go out with the understanding that not everyone perhaps is going to be on your side. You will find people who will stand by you, you will find people who will be your family, and you will also find detractors because this is how the world is. But come to us if you ever need support. We are at Prabhadevi, we can be your extended family. Come in just to have a cup of tea, you do not need to come here to have services. We have a training space. If you want us to work with you on helping you on grooming, on understanding, or even volunteering your time in a community-based organization, we are open to you at all times.
Yeah, as very well said by you, right? That education is the key. Whatever adversity you are, if you are very well educated, you can get out of that adversity in some or the other way. And another thing is that you being a supporting person, your community also being a supporting person at this place is very much open to help such people who are there outside facing adversities. So do reach out if you are facing certain kind of adversities faced by other like trans community. So the next question is that are there any specific incidents which had a huge impact over your life, that is any life-changing incident or any something of that kind?
I used to be a student at Bharati Vidya Bhavan College in Andheri doing my Bachelor in Management Studies. And at that point of time, I experienced extreme transphobia, homophobia being directed at me. Because as you would know, in the new age college students, you need to work on project reports, on group submissions, on various kinds of work assignments together. When people realized that I was a trans person, I was a non-binary person, they shunned me. There was a time where I had to decide to leave the education system because one is I found it very traumatic to go back to be bullied, to be harassed in college, to the point that someone told me complete your education. We went and I gave my exams. But what I went through need not necessarily be the story of everyone. There are so many people who are able to accept themselves and live fulfilling lives. I would just request you to also do the same thing. Then there were challenges as I grew up. I'm 43 today, and there was a time I was your age, listening, trying to figure out what I wanted to do in life. I just knew that I wanted to be something that wanted to be a change maker within society, within my own community, and outside the community as well. That led to immense hardships. There was a time when I had to beg on the streets or sell my body for sex for survival, but those were difficult steps, and not everyone needs to go through it. But having said that, there are adversities, but there are also positive steps. The most positive people being, say, someone like Rotary and the amazing group of Rotarians and young people like Rose Rotaract himself, to be able to become allies in my journey, to become sponsors in terms of believing what I did and helping us achieve. Because just the belief that you may be able to create something different is not enough. You need sponsors, you need allies, you need people who will work with you and just tell you, look, we believe in you. So that is the most positive story that I can think about.
Yeah, actually, at times those hardships, I mean, at those moments we think that why is this happening with us? But
True.
then when we think of it, we think it of as a a fire that has led up to such great heights, and I mean, kind of motivation I would say, or something like that, which has made us capable enough to reach where we are right now. And you are truly an inspiration. Even I didn't knew about such kind of adversity that you faced. You are truly an inspiration for everybody. I mean, watching the video out there. So, like, the next question that I would like to ask is that what are your future business plans for the betterment of this trans community? I mean, all over in general.
So, along with this Saloon initiative, I also run a cafe which is again owned, operated and managed by trans people at Mahada Lokanwala. It's called the Trans Cafe. So we did a spin around the word trans. So this is the transformed living salon, that is the Trans Cafe. I want to build on to different social entrepreneurship stuff that we've never tried before. Running a cafe, running a salon, perhaps running a skilling center, perhaps joining the BFSI sector. I think our community has never been given the opportunity to think beyond the immediate. So my idea is to take this and create it into a brand and take it all over India. To show India that when people believe in us, we create magic, we transform people, and most importantly, we give the world a reason to believe that India is truly a Vishwaguru. And in the 75 years of India's independence, I think this is our best gift to the nation, that we, at one point of time, who were considered beggars, sex workers, people who were good for nothing, are now become job creators. I employ 15 people in total from the community in our salon and the cafe. Imagine, from being a job seeker to being a job creator, the world of difference that we are making, and all of this with dignity, all of this with self-respect. When people walk out, when my staff walks out of the salon, they walk out with dignity, with their chin held up high. That is my India, and that is what I want to create all throughout India. So whether it is a chain, whether it's a franchisee model, whether it is branching out into different cities, is what I also hope to achieve over the next 5 years.
It's really great after that you're thinking of the nation as a whole, I mean the trans community leading.
Because the trans community is part of the nation.
Right.
Whether
right.
people like it or not, we are part of this nation and we are contributing to nation building. And one of this is paying to taxes and to spaces. So we are contributing to the economic activity happening in this nation at this point of time.
Yeah. So the next thing is that for all that you have said right now, you need a person, or I would say something that keeps on inspiring you, keeps on igniting the fire in you. So like, who is the person? Like, would you like to name the person or any incidents?
So I at various points of life have had different people that I have looked up to. But I think it's my mother that I look up to the most. She's not there with us physically at this point of time. She passed away a decade ago. But I guess she was one person who I look up to because she taught us to live with dignity, to live within our means, to irrespective of whatever diversity that you face, adversities that may come to your way, challenges that you may come to your way, you can always make the choice of walking ahead with your chin held up high. She was not in the material sense of the word educated, she never went to school, but she ensured all of her three children had college education. She ensured that all of her three children understood gender equality. All of them could clean the house, cook food and fend for ourselves. So she gave us that value system which I still hold today. And most importantly, she taught me about loving and giving selfishly. So my idea, my community, my country and overall my world is what she has taught me. And that's the lesson I look forward to, and that's what I look forward to in any person. So it's my biological mother, and of course so many people in my life, but if you were to just ask me one person, she's my one inspiration.
I mean, a great salute to her for imparting such kind of values in your life. You know, you're not only right now doing good of your own, but also the good of various people out there who are, I mean, I would say a lot of social trauma kind of thing, social discrimination and a lot of things. So of course a large part of it goes to your mother as well, a great inspiration. So with this, the first round comes to an end. Now let's move on to the second one, so fun and topic round. Yeah, the first question is that can you share with us a fun memory of yours during any lifespan?
I think I've had so much of fun with different kinds of people in different situations, but the most important part of it is that I used to work with the United Nations, and I spent 12 years of my life working with the United Nations, both in India and in the ASPAC region, and we had the most amazing mix of politicians who I would work with, so not wanting to name any of them. But they would come up with the most hilarious solutions to a complex problem, and sometimes I just realized, yes, politicians also do have a sense of humor. And there was Lalu Prasad Yadav, who I think the world really underestimates as a person of political acumen, but with such sharp wit and humor, you will actually be surprised. And I remember meeting him in Parliament once, and he cracking a joke and cracking up everyone around him. So it was always fun looking at him. So whenever I see him, and I feel sad when I see him, but yes, but he's one who brought humor to our lives in the Parliament.
So the next thing is that what's your favorite pastime activity?
Okay, so I have 7 cats. My favorite pastime activity is playing around with them.
Cat lover.
I am an animal lover.
Oh.
I love animals of all shapes, sizes and kinds.
Nice, but like even I love the animals, but I'm not allowed to keep one in my home. So the next thing is that which other profession would you have love to go on in other than this salon or cafe?
No,
You're looking forward.
I have a full-time job. I lead inclusion, diversity, culture. I'm an HR professional in my business. But if I were ever given a chance, I would love to be a politician.
Oh, I mean, yes, it's a position where you can create changes because of that.
Yes.
Okay. So the next thing is that what all things have you included in your bucket list?
So my bucket list now is mostly tapered down to economic intervention, and of course then the last of my list is basically to build a center of learning and a home where people across gender, across ability, across orientation can either live in a paid accommodation or free for those who cannot afford it, but using sustainable, nature-centric approaches, having a clean, healthy lifestyle, and that includes vegetarianism as a diet, but also looking at other important Indic traditions that we could look at. So that's my last item on my bucket list that I will be working towards.
That's great to know that. So that as you said that you also wanted to become a politician, right? So if you had become a politician, like what rules would you have implemented? What rules would have made for the country or for the people or for the trans community for that?
No, I think the first thing that I would do is, as a politician and as perhaps if I were given a ministry, I would like to have more accountability from those in politics and this executive towards the society, towards the voters, by creating a public accountability bill which makes us mandatory for everyone in elected office or anyone in government office to be more accessible, available and accountable to the public, and making sure that this percolates down. So this is something that I would have done definitely if I were allowed to serve my country.
Okay, hope this, your wish of making such a rule gets actually implemented in near future by some other politician or that kind. So the one more thing that I wanted to know was that how is the feeling when the customers go out of the salon satisfied with the service that you provide? If you can.
So the feeling is that of, so I don't know how many of you all have ever tasted burgers for the first time in your life. It's interesting, it's exciting. I remember when I went out for my first year junior college form filling at Zainab, was the time I had my first burger in life. This was in 98, 99. And the feeling is extreme happiness that you've done something that you've seen on TV, you've seen people talking about. But more importantly, we know we've created a difference, and that's totally different, indescribable feeling. It's like being on top of the world for that one person who you help to transform inside and out. Believe me, sometimes people only transform X. We would like to see people transform. So when people smile on their way out, when they leave us a beautiful review, when they tell us that we absolutely love being here, I think that's a sign that yes, we've achieved the purpose of setting up this enterprise.
Yeah, for an artist, or for an makeup or any such kind of professions, appreciation is the most biggest thing that one can satisfy that particular person who is doing such things.
Right.
So the last question for this round is that what has been your what's your favorite service from the salon that you would love to offer to your customers out there?
So see, I have never ever lived without hair color in my life. I think for most of my adolescent years till now, I basically love hair color. So my hair is actually done at the salon. But another service that I think was absolutely fantastic is the hand and foot spa. Now what generally happens in regular salons is that you generally get an apprentice or a younger technician to do the pedicure, manicure. But in our salon, we flipped it over and we've actually got someone with 10 years of experience only who does the best hand and foot spa, pedicure, manicure that you will imagine. And you will come back 100% asking for more or money back guarantee for you.
So it was really great. I would ask the audiences who are watching this video to actually come and witness this salon to get on those services and transform yourself internally as well as externally. And
all students watching it, bring your iCards and come along and we'll give you a 10% discount.
Oh, great. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being on this show, being on this initiative of us inspiring a lot of people watching this video out there. The transformative people, if they would, of course, feel any kind of, adversities as such, I'm sure that they would be very much free to approach you for any kind of solutions or any such kind of thing. And yeah, it was really great of you that sharing such inspirational stories, which actually were, not only for any specific gender, I would say, but in general, it was for everyone. So yeah, thank you so much for taking out your crucial time and being on this initiative. Thank you everyone for watching the entire video. Do like, share, comment and subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Thank you.